Hey, everybody, welcome into week 4 of the Sunday Social. I am your host today, Dylan Clemons. Here with me, kicking off the show is Matt from the Parlay FF guys to talk betting. Joe Bond can't join us for his weekly ranking segment. He's a little bit under the weather. So after Matt, we're actually going to jump right into the start sick questions. We already got a couple in the bank here with people commenting. So make sure to get your questions in. We'll answer them as fast as possible, be as thorough as possible. But before we jump into it, Matt, I just want to remind everyone, please hit that like button. As you're joining the stream, please hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Then head on over to fantasy6pack.net/plans to become an all-access member. That's where you got access to Joe's award-winning rankings each week. Draft cheat sheets. I know we're out of draft season for football, guys, but hockey, NBA right around the corner, so you want to make sure to check those out. And then our F6P Discord, that's truly where you get your money's worth. You get direct access to Matt. You get direct access to myself. You get direct access to our entire Fantasy Six Pack staff to ask them any questions you want. And all the different chat rooms in there are always going. We're chopping it up, talking football, talking baseball, with playoff baseball right around the corner too. So, but without further ado, Matt, how you doing, my man, this morning? I didn't even mention, we got a football game already going on with the Steelers leading 14-3. Your Steelers, baby.
That's
how
right,
you doing,
boys? Doing fantastic. Doing real great. It was nice waking up Sunday morning and not having to sit and wait for football to start. You can just wake up, especially when it's your team. Sit up and wait. And I have a bet on this game, so it's even better that my Steelers are winning and my bet's going good.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, I was up bright and early this morning. I got a pork shoulder on the smoker. I'm going to make some pulled pork a little later. So I've been ready to go since about 6:30 a.m. this morning. I already ran to the grocery stores and came back and just watching football already. It's a beautiful thing. But all right, Matt, go ahead. Give us your first best bet of the week.
Okay, so game one, guys. Obviously, I had the Steelers plus 2.5 before this game started, but we're going to move on from that because you know how we do it up in here. First game, though, I'm going Green Bay. I think you get it -6 right now, maybe 6.5. But when I took it, it was -7. Regardless of the numbers, if it doesn't get too high, I'm taking Green Bay all day. Green Bay in the spread. Dallas is atrocious on defense. Sorry, any Dallas fans that are in the comments, but they're just not good. I mean, it just does not look good right now. No CeeDee Lamb this week. Micah Parsons is going to tee off. I would look at, potentially what his sack over under is and maybe sprinkle little dollars on that. But I'm going to take Green Bay -7. This just seems like an easy game hopefully it's not a trap game, but I think the Green Bay Packers will bounce back this week and put it on Dallas.
Yeah, man, and you kind of just alluded to it. This needs to be a get-right game for the Packers after a disappointing performance against the Browns last week, which the Browns defense kind of looks a little legit, and that is not what this Cowboys defense is. We've seen Russell Wilson tear them up. We've seen Caleb Williams tear him up back-to-back weeks. Russ doesn't even have a job anymore, Matt. Yeah, and I think you said you got it at like 7.5, right? Is that what you said?
I got it at -7. It is actually 6.5 on FanDuel. It's still -7 on DraftKings.
That number's not big enough, man. Like you alluded to it. Yeah, I think the Packers are going to put it on them. I agree with you there.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
What's the next one you got, my man?
The next one, I'm taking the Rams -3.5 versus the Colts in this matchup. I know the Colts have been on a roll, and let's be honest, the Rams should have won that game last week against the Eagles. They gave up like 21 points. I don't think that's going to happen again. I know Matthew Stafford was a little. I know if you watch the game, he was clutching his back a little bit. I know he had a back injury this offseason, but I think the Rams are going to get right after last week. Like I said, they should have beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They kind of gave that game away. The Colts have been on fire. They've been rolling with Danny Dimes and Jonathan Taylor, but I think they're going to hit a little bit of a roadblock this week, and I think the Rams are going to get this week's game done. So I'm going to take the Rams -3.5 in this matchup.
Man, they got to just have an absolute brutal taste in their mouth, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, after last week, just let that game slip away where they were just in control of it the first half. And what were they up to? Was it 26-7, 23-7, something like that?
It was something crazy. I think they gave up 21 fourth quarter points or something. It was something crazy like that.
Man, yeah, that's bad. But on the plus side for us as fantasy players, it was finally good to see the Eagles be able to put the ball through the air and be able to to move their offense that way, man, because it has been ugly for A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, and even Jalen Hurts to an extent hasn't been super good this year. So on that side of it, it was good to see them get rolling on offense. But yeah, I like the Rams in this one too, Matt, a lot.
Yeah. Yep. And then I'll just jump into the last one here, Dylan. I've got the New England Patriots -5.5. This was a call that one of my co-hosts made on our show. I really like that number. I know the Patriots just haven't really impressed. They've been fumbling the ball like crazy with their running backs. Is this the week that we see Travion Henderson kind of step up to the plate? I don't think he's going to take the backfield over, but I think he'll be more involved this week. So at 5.5, I like that number. The Panthers, was it a mirage last week? I don't know. I don't know
what a
what
wild thing that was, man.
I know. It's like they're going into New England this week. I think we'll see a little bit of a different New England team with Vrabel. So I don't like the Panthers this week. I think the 5.5 is kind of an odd number. I figured it would have been a little bit higher. 5.5, you don't see that too terribly often. It's either 3.5 or like 6.5 or 7.5. 5.5 is just a weird number to me.
Yeah.
I think the Patriots can win this game by a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Patriots -5.5 in this matchup.
I'm with you there, man. I like that. It sounds like Christian Gonzalez is going to play this week too. Going to be suiting up, so he can go ahead. He's going to cover up some holes in that secondary. Probably going to shadow around Tetora McMillan. Might be able to shut him down. He's dinged up this week as well, and obviously he's the biggest part of their offense. They don't have Jalen Coker. They don't have Adam Thielen any longer. Xavier Legette is also hurt for the Panthers. So yeah, it's the cupboards are bare over there, and I'm with you. I could see the Patriots covering that number for sure.
Yeah.
And then, like always, Matt, I want to give you a couple of plays from my betting card here, and just to hear your thoughts on it. I took your Steelers already, and that's looking good this morning. But I also jumped on the Bears money line. It's pretty much a pick 'em as -105. I liked what I saw last week. I'm a Bears fan, maybe a little biased. We haven't seen the Raiders play good football in the last couple of weeks here. Geno Smith turning the ball over a little bit, although Bears defense not good, man. So I'm just curious your thoughts on. Do you think the Bears could just win this game outright? What are your thoughts here?
I'm a little different from you here this week, Dylan.
Okay.
I mean, you just hit it on the head. We haven't seen the Raiders kind of get going on offense yet, right? I mean, you've got guys like, and listen, last week, Trey Tucker, 100 billion yards and 3 touchdowns. You're not going to see that this week. I know everybody's been all hyped about Trey Tucker, especially for fantasy, but Jacoby Myers is still going to get a consistent amount of targets. Brock Bowers, once he's fully healthy, if he is fully healthy this week, he's back to being their number one guy. But you kind of hit it on the head that the Bears defense is extremely banged up. It is extremely banged up. Is this the week that we see Ashton Genty get more involved? Do we see him actually take advantage of the touches that he is getting? Personally, I stayed away from this game because I kind of wanted to see what it looked like with this Raiders offense. But I would probably be on the other side. I don't think it's a terrible bet because it's plus money for the Bears. They're favored, or they're not favored. I mean, so they're the dogs. That offense in Chicago is cooking. I mean, it's humming right now. So can the Raiders defense stop it? I think it's just going to be a shootout, in my personal opinion. So I don't hate the bet. I'd probably lean the other direction, but if you want plus money, then why not? Why not shoot for the moon?
Yeah. No, that's totally fair there, man. And then just one other game that I have, and I did it last week and it didn't work out. Tennessee got rolled, but I took them on the money line once again here. I probably should have took the points because I think it's Texans are favored by 7-ish. Which I don't know how the Texans are beating anybody by 7 points, Matt, with the way that their offense has been this season. So I'm just curious your thoughts on this Titans-Texans matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, the game opened at 5.5 in favor of the Texans, and then it jumped to -7 for the Texans, and you can get it at bet 365 at -6.5 or plus 6.5, whichever direction you want to go. With it opened up at that little of a number and then it jumped up to 7, it's kind of making me wonder, like, why. I mean, 2.5 points jump is a pretty decent little jump there. But I mean, you said it right. The Texans offensive line, it could be the worst in the NFL. I mean, CJ Stroud he's one of the worst quarterbacks in the league right now. So
it's not
they're
pretty.
playing at home. When are we going to see the Texans get rolling? I don't know that we will. Christian Kirk getting more involved, that could be a big help for CJ Stroud. As far as the other side goes, though, you have kind of the same problem. Cam Ward's a rookie. Where the heck is Calvin Ridley? He's basically non-existent. Alec Iomanner's been playing pretty well. He's getting consistent targets from Cam Ward. They've built that relationship. But it's kind of a gross game. Like, it's just kind of a gross game that I personally stayed away from. I know that we got the Texans in a dog parlay this week with me and my two co-hosts. We did take the Texans to win outright, and I know that's not what you want to hear, but that was kind of I don't know. I don't know what to think about this game. It's one that I don't, unless I know more facts, I got to sit back and wait.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. Like you alluded to it, man, it's going to be ugly. And the game total is telling you that it's going to be ugly, sitting at 39.5, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's that one's not going to be a pretty watch. It's one of those offenses got to get right. And I'm not sure, man. Apparently, I'm glutton for punishment and wanted to wager on that ugly thing this week. So, what other game I want to get your thoughts on in this one? The Chargers taking on the Giants. This was one I didn't bet. But I'm kind of leaning towards possibly taking the Chargers at -6. Chargers defense has been fantastic, and Jackson Dart's getting his first career start for the Giants. But at times, Matt, when you don't have a lot of tape on a rookie, sometimes the first game they can come out and surprise you a little bit. So that's kind of why I've stayed away. Do you have any thoughts here on leaning either way? Chargers are favored by 6. Are you comfortable laying that number or no?
I think I am comfortable. It makes you hesitate a little bit because, again, it's just one of those weird lines that you look at, the 5.5s and the 6. Those make you pause a little bit. And it's also a little bit of a trap because you see those lower numbers. You don't see the hook on it. And you're like, oh, yeah, that's a touchdown. They win by a touchdown. We're good. So it makes you think a little bit more of like, could this be some kind of trap? But unfortunately, in this position here, I don't mind taking the 6. I think I'm going to catch a lot of hate, catch a lot of flack, especially from my friends because I live in Kansas. I think the Chargers are the best AFC West team. Like I'm going to flat out say it. I don't think the Chiefs are the best team in that division right now. I think the Chargers can win that division if they keep playing, right? Justin Herbert's been impressive. That offense has been impressive. You have 3 viable wide receivers that you can start because why not start them until you can't anymore? They're just rolling. That team is just rolling, and then they can keep cooking. I think they could beat the Giants by 6 easily. So I would lean the Chargers in this position, which I did take the Chargers in a parlay. I did a 16 parlay, and they're one of the teams I took money line. So, or the spread.
I like it. Yeah. Wow. Actually, right as we're talking, Matt, on DraftKings, it just changed to 6.5. I think I just said it was 6 too, which
it was 6.
Interesting. Yeah, just changed to 6.5 on DraftKings. Still might run over the border here. Once we're off of here, might take that now.
They were listening to me. They were listening to me. That's the problem.
Dang it, man. I didn't know this show was that mainstream. Kind of wild. But all right, Matt, man, we appreciate your time here. Let's go ahead and get you out of here so you can get to watching your team play some football this morning. But before we do, how about you go ahead and plug some stuff? What do you got here for us?
Yeah, if you guys want to find us, we go live every single Tuesday with our betting episode. You can find us over there on the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. Make sure you click that subscribe button, click the notification bell so it lets you guys know when anybody on the Fantasy Six Pack channel goes live. You can head over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Look up the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. That's where we go. That's where our audio stuff is. And then, like Dylan said earlier, head over to fantasysixpack.net, become an all-access member, and you guys will have access to all of our bets that we put out every single week, both college and NFL. And let me tell y'all, we're cooking. So make sure you go and do that, and we'll win you guys some money.
Love it, Matt. Appreciate you as always, my man, and I can't wait to talk to you next week.
All right. Take care, guys. Good luck.
Later. All right, everybody. Like I mentioned at the top of the show, Joe Bond could not join us this week, feeling a little bit under the weather. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump right into our start-sit portion this week. So let's go ahead, switch the overlay here. Let's get Mr. Kyle Senra, Ike Bonni, Keith Fleming here. We're all here to help you make up your lineup decisions here. Guys, Kyle, starting with you. How you doing on this beautiful morning where we got NFL football already rolling here bright and early?
Yeah, can't be worse than it was last week for the Packers, right?
No, hopefully not. Hopefully for your sake. Hopefully for Keith's sake, too, after the Falcons debacle against Carolina last week. What the heck was that, Keith? How are you feeling, man, after that?
Falcon's going to Falcon. It happens. I'm more, disappointed about UGA's loss last night. That hurt.
Tough one.
They gave that game away. And then I'm just trying to mentally prepare myself for our season to end Week 4 at the hands of Dan Quinn and Marcus Mariota, who were obviously both at one time Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, man, that's tough. But don't throw the towel in too early, man. It's still Week 4. I don't know if the season's over quite yet. But you're not a Falcons fan who is wanting to start Kirk Cousins, are you? Are you still fine rolling with Michael Penix? You want to keep seeing what you got there?
Any Falcons fans saying they want to start Kirk Cousins are idiots. We drafted Penix. He's played 6 games. He's been pretty good in 5 of 6. He's a rookie. In case you forget that. I know technically it's his second year. He's still making his first handful of starts. Was it bad? Yeah, but I don't blame him. I think some of the play calling has been atrocious. And no, I'm very happy with Penix. I actually hope that they kind of let him air it out more. And really get Drake London going. I think that's kind of what has been the difference is they're trying to just run, and I think we need a throw, and that will open up the run.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. Get Drake London going. We want him to get going from fantasy managers' perspectives, no doubt. Ike, good to see you this morning. How you feeling, man? After a good Saturday of college football, and our Illini won yesterday, man. After a debacle the week prior, beating USC, which was good to see.
Doing good. Dogs being crazy, but
love it. That's right. We love dogs here on this program, man. But let's go ahead. Let's jump right into things here. From Frog Doctor, dropped us a question last night. Hopefully he's watching this morning. Need to start 2 of Pickens, Ladd, Olave, who's seen a ton of volume, seen a ton of targets, and Michael Pittman Jr. Kyle, we'll let you start here. Need 2 of the 4 here.
Yeah, I think Michael Pittman Jr. is probably the strongest start here. Colts. It's tough defense against the Rams, but Bills defense is tough. The Giants D-line can be tough. Yeah, going Pittman, and I'll go Ladd. Just trust that they'll get enough targets.
So you're not one who's kind of panicking on Ladd quite yet, with him being the third, so far through 3 weeks, pretty much the third option in this passing attack, Kyle?
With how much volume Herbert's getting, 3 guys can certainly feast. So I think that's okay. It'd be nice for him to get more touchdowns. But yeah, I wouldn't panic. I'll still start him if it feels appropriate. And I really like Olave against the Bills and Pickens against the Packers. That's expanded role, but that's a tough defense where they've certainly been more vulnerable passing, allowing receptions to running backs and tight ends, and really good at preventing the receiver production.
Sure. All right, Ike, what do you got here? Starting 2, Pickens, Ladd, Olave, Pittman.
I would do Ladd and Pittman, even though I like the targets Olave's getting, but like you said, Buffalo's pretty tough.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Keith, what do you got here? Pickens, Ladd, Olave, Pittman.
I'm going to go Pittman and Pickens. Little surprised with, Lamb being out. You guys are down on Pickens. I think that you're going to see a very heavy workload for him, and because I think Dallas is going to struggle again this week, probably be down, and that's going to mean that they're going to be throwing a lot. So I like Pickens, and the Pittman thing it's a little concerning, but the Rams' run defense is the stellar part of that defense, and I'm really fascinated to see whether or not they can slow down Jonathan Taylor and this Colts offense.
All right. Like it. Happy Sunday. Should I stick with Daniel Jones or go with Caleb Williams against the Raiders? Let's just start with that first part of the question. Ike, we'll let you take this away. Are you trusting Daniel Jones or would you go with Caleb here?
Right now, I guess you got to roll with Daniel Jones. He's playing very well, so he's always a threat to run the ball too. So that's where I go, I think.
Okay. Keith, how about yourself on this first part? Daniel Jones or Caleb Williams?
I think I'm probably going to go Caleb. I mean, he's just right now, a top 5 fantasy QB. I do think that Daniel Jones is a good play today because I just wonder if the Colts are going to be able to actually run the ball on this Rams squad. And this is a Rams team that's given up 30 rushing yards to the opposing QBs in 2 out of 3 games. Jones has already got a couple of rushing touchdowns this year, but Caleb has been really good and silenced a lot of the haters, and we've seen this, Raiders defense is not anything spectacular, and I do expect the Raiders to be able to put up points as well. I think the Rams-Colts game is going to be a little bit more of a rock fight to where I expect the Raiders-Bears game to just be a little bit more frisky in terms of points, and that's always good for, fantasy people involved.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm with you there. That's a great point. Kyle, what do you got here? Daniel Jones, Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I used to get mad every time anyone called Daniel Jones an upside quarterback. He was always a high floor quarterback, but he never produced enough touchdowns to be considered a high upside.
Sure, yeah.
That has changed. He's one of the highest upside plays at quarterback. It's again Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. Those are the guys I'm debating Daniel Jones with. So Daniel Jones for sure.
Okay. And then I'll let you take the other part of this. PPR sit 1, Chase Odunze, Jacoby Myers, George Pickens.
And I think this is where Pickens' expanded role will enter into play. I think I would sit Jacoby Myers for this.
Okay. Keith, what do you got here? Chase, Odunze, Myers, Pickens.
I agree. The Trey Tucker thing is real. 17 targets the last 2 weeks, 2 rush attempts. He is now, I think, 6 in expected fantasy points at wide receiver. For instance, on DraftKings this week, he's the 45th most expensive wide receiver. So, that's value, and I don't know. Myers is still getting volume, but Geno, we know, likes to make big plays, and that's not really what Jacoby does. Not to mention, I think as Bowers gets more healthy, you're going to see him start to get more and more touches. I've been really reading into it because is it second-year slump or is it just a knee thing? He admitted he's been pretty banged up, but he said he's feeling a lot better coming into this week, and I think you're going to see starting this week a little bit more of the Bowers from the explosive rate.
I do have Bowers in my DFS lineup right now, so hopefully he is feeling a little bit better. Ike, what do you got here? Who are you sitting out of those 4?
I'll keep it with what you guys said, Jacoby Myers.
Clean sweep. All right, I love it. From BD, good to see you this morning again. PPR start 2, Cortland Sutton, Emeka Egbuka, Tetaroa, McMillan. Ike, who are you sitting out of these guys? Ted is dinged up. So I think that's the way that I would lean with the calf injury. I think that would be the tiebreaker.
And plus Sutton is still other than that 1 week where I don't know what happened, but he's doing fine. So I'd sit Tet.
Sean Payton. That's what happened with Cortland Sutton the 1 week.
Well, that's what I was thinking. With Sutton, it's the opposite. He's had a good week except one super bad week. But yeah, I agree. I'd go with Ike. I'd go and Dylan. I'd go.
Keith, how about you? Who are you sitting out of these 3?
Man, it's tough because Christian Gonzalez is back.
He is.
Or at least it looks like he is. The only thing, though, that I will say is that Ted McMillan versus man defense, which New England runs at a top 5 rate, over 5 yards per route run, and a 55% first read target share, that is excessive volume. So I think I actually would sit Egbuka with Godwin coming back. I think that you're going to see him immediately be involved. And if you're Philly, I would assume that, Egbuka is going to be the guy that you're going to try to slow down because Tampa's had a really hard time running the ball this year, and Philly's got a good run defense. So I think they're going to try to take away Egbuka. Godwin's going to be more of the underneath stuff, and I think that's what they're going to have to do. Philly's been getting pressure in the 2 games since Carter's come back.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, Egbuka probably going to get a lot of Quinyon Mitchell, so that could be a little scary there. Next one here from Cody, we got Bo Nix, who's been inconsistent to say the least this year, and then Justin Fields, who we've seen 2 games out of him. We've seen the highs, and then we've seen the real lows. Kyle, I'll let you start it here. Where are you going here between Nix and Justin Fields?
Well, I do have a 14-team Superflex league where this is a potential decision. I could, in fact, play both, but both on Monday night is risky enough that I really feel forced into making the decision to just play Trevor Lawrence today and then worry about one of them on Monday. And I'm leaning Fields right now, just the rushing upside. There's that word again. He really does have it. Bonix playing the Bengals.
Both good matchups for each guy.
Yeah. Yeah, Dolphins and Bengals defense neither is great. So I just think a higher upside chance with Fields. If he hits, it hits a lot higher than what Bonix does. So that's where
fair.
I've been leaning so far.
Okay. Keith, how about you?
Look, I know week 2, if you listen to this show, I went on and on about Fields, and he went out and he laid an egg. That happens.
Yep.
It does not change. 2022, fantasy points per start, 20.5. 2023, 19.4. 2024, 19.1. And he is consistently a top 5 quarterback in fantasy points per dropback. So I'm going to keep rolling with him. Like, I stand by what I said week 2. Outside of those, 5 guys, Lamar, Allen, etc., I think Fields is one of the most valuable guys in fantasy. And I think he's going to, a lot of people are going to sit him this week because of what happened versus Buffalo 2 weeks. And then he could easily go off for 20, 30 points, and you're going to be frustrated with yourself. So I'm going to stick with it until I see a bigger sample size than just one game, because remember what he did week 1.
Yeah, I've got him ranked at
confidence,
QB
man.
13. Sorry, Dylan. But I've got him ranked QB 13. It's kind of like that hedge, right? Because you're right, Keith. It feels like he should be higher, where I've got Daniel Jones ranked, for instance. But just the first game back from injury, there's that bit of hesitation. So it's kind of playing the middle ground, I suppose.
Right on. Ike, what do you got here? You going to go Knicks or you going to go Fields?
I'm going to go Fields. He shows a little bit more on the ground. Although Knicks can run too, but still.
It hasn't been good from Knicks to start the year either, man. So
defenses have adapted, and I think Denver needs to get to run first. They're asking him to do too much, and I just don't think Bo Nix is that guy. He's a good quarterback, but he is not somebody that you can lean on. And last year, they had to, obviously, a little bit more, and I think it took, defenses by surprise, but it seems like they've adjusted, learned what Nix excels at and what he doesn't, and that's why he's kind of having the issues that he is right now.
I'm with you, man. It is a little weird that Denver's not relying on the running game while you have J.K. Dobbins healthy, while you have the rookie R.J. Harvey, man. So I'm with you there. Next one here, we got DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, or David Montgomery. Flex full point PPR. Keith, we'll let you take this one away. Who are you starting out of these 3 guys?
Well, there's no way I'm starting Montgomery. Gibbs, obviously you can't sit, but this Cleveland run defense is so freaking good. Look what they did to 2 of the best rushing attacks in the NFL in Baltimore and Green Bay the last 2 weeks. So I would probably lean Devontae Smith, only because I think it's going to be another game where Philly is going to be forced to throw to win, similar to last week. I'm not saying they're going to fall behind like they did, but I just Vita Vea's a beast, man. And Tampa has been pretty good versus the run. I was a little concerning metrics about Barkley, especially his explosive rate is way down this year compared to last year. I just think that means they're going to have to throw more. And, Rome Odunze is the number 1 target in Chicago. I think you're going to see Cole Kmet be heavily involved with Loveland being out. And so I'm going to, go Devontae Smith. But I'm okay with playing DJ Moore, too. I think it's close.
Mike, what do you got here? DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, David Montgomery. Are you going to chase the points with David Montgomery, or like Keith said?
I'm going DJ Moore. Okay. I'd go DJ Moore. I think
he's a little bit saved by the touchdown. Sorry, last week.
Yeah, that's fine. And Devontae Smith is still getting his targets, but at any point he can give you a 5 or something, just because Devontae Smith usually does. So.
All right, we got one with DJ Moore and one with Devonta Smith. Kyle, break the tie here. Are you going to make it David Montgomery?
Well,
make it super weird.
I was going into the week thinking, okay, leagues where I've got Montgomery, I'm going to bench him, and then I've got this full PPR league, David Montgomery, DJ Moore, flex options. Luckily, I have enough spots to play both, so I have a really hard time knowing what I would do. But my thought process is still to just trust Montgomery, that the Lions' rushing attack is so good that it doesn't matter. I guess that's what I'm playing off. That they've just consistently had this incredible offensive line. Lost pieces, but the most important parts of the lines, the tackles are still there, so I feel like they can still operate. And with how productive Montgomery's been, I couldn't do it. When I was looking at my lineups where I had Montgomery, I'm starting him everywhere. So that would be my call here too.
Okay. Well, I think I got to break the tie then, right? So I think I'm gonna lead Keith's side with Devonta Smith, man. I think they're gonna struggle trying to run the ball, so they're gonna have to throw it a little bit more. So I think
I do have Smith ranked higher than DJ Moore. So between the receivers, that's probably how I would think too.
Sounds good there. Whatever. From Drew Johnson, the battle of the two underperforming guys. Start Ladd McConkey or Brian Thomas Jr. Ike, we'll let you start here. Where are you gonna go here?
I'm gonna roll with Brian Thomas still. They want to get him the ball, or at least they should be making an effort to get him the ball. And I feel like this could be the game where they actually finally start connecting on their targets and shit. So yeah, I'll go BTJ, even though Ladd's not terrible.
Agreed. Keith, what do you got here, Ladd or Brian Thomas Jr.?
I'm going to keep rolling with BTJ early this season. I mean, the disparity between the fantasy points he's putting up and the expected fantasy points is like one of the largest vacuums I can remember in fantasy football. I think it's like over 20 points per game in expected fantasy when you look at the targets and the kind of volume he's getting. And it just hasn't worked out. Don't forget also that San Francisco lost Nick Bosa. So how much pressure are they going to be able to get on Jacksonville, which, more time just leads more chances for BTJ to make a big play. Ladd is somebody who I feel like that eventually he's going to be fine. But even as one of the biggest Ladd defenders in the world, it is concerning that they, for whatever reason, seem to think Keenan Allen is more valuable than Ladd, which I'm sorry, that's insane. Like, it's
Justin
freaking
Herbert's
insane.
just so used to him. That was like his guy his rookie year. It was like getting back his bro.
But I just hope they don't stunt Ladd. Luckily, I mean, at UGA, he's used to playing in offenses that are going to spread it around. Like, he's not the kind of guy that's going to take offense to it or whatever. Sure. And I do think he's going to have, like, a game in the next few weeks where he goes bananas. But I can't sit BTJ until I see more than a 3-game sample size with, again, like the volume, expected fantasy points, all that stuff. If you're a nerd like me and loves data, says it's much more likely he's going to have a huge game, like could be this week, next week, than Ladd is with the volume he's seeing.
That makes sense, man. Kyle, what do you got here?
I mean, is Ladd's volume the issue? I mean, he's got, 23 targets through 3 games. Like, that's kind of what we want. And I think Ladd, because the issues with BTJ and the Jaguars are him and Lawrence. Like, they're just not connecting right now. Whereas the issues with the Chargers is simply Ladd's just not getting the touchdowns. But that could easily be solved in any week. I think a lot more easily than Thomas and Lawrence's issues, which seem like that could be like. I remember, I think I was listening to Matt Harmon just talk about, briefly touch on this. The types of routes that Brian Thomas runs best are not the best routes that Lawrence does. So there just might be a fundamental flaw that you can't get the best out of Brian Thomas Jr. with Lawrence just because of the way Lawrence throws. Like, it feels like that's. And I mean, we talk small sample size. It's just a 3-game sample size for Ladd McConkey. I mean, he was almost as good as Brian Thomas last year. So I feel like it's the same disappointment thing, but I trust the Chargers a lot more. So I've got Ladd ranked higher than Thomas.
Okay, that's fair. Kyle, we'll let you start here. Dion, he said he's sit Mayfield this week in favor of May, with Godwin supposed to debut. I think I'm okay with going Drake May over Mayfield. Would you lean that way as well?
Yeah, May seems like he's right on the crust, on the precipice of those Daniel Jones types. So yeah, I'd be fine going May most weeks, to be honest. Once you once you get everyone back, Evans, Godwin, and Ibuka going, like, is Baker's ceiling so high that can contend with the production floor of May's rushing. But I'm probably leaning Drake May most weeks from now on. Like, he's shown enough. It's a really tough defense. Maybe you avoid him, but I guess, sorry, Keith, but it's not supposed to be a tough defense against the Panthers. Maybe Falcons prove us wrong there.
Yeah, I agree.
My team just lost the Browns, and my other team lost 40-3 yesterday. So that's
not good. Yeah, like you alluded to it at the end. It's a great matchup for Drake May against the Panthers. Keith, Ike, would you guys both start May over Mayfield this week as well?
Yeah.
Keith?
I don't think I can do it.
Okay.
I just Baker scored 17 points or more without the best offensive lineman playing on that offensive line, who, by the way, is returning today. And he's getting Godwin back, who was one of his favorite targets, even when Mike Evans was on the field. And I think Ibuka is a adequate substitute for Evans to where you still get it. And the other thing is just Tampa has not been able to run the ball. They just can't. And it's not. And maybe Worf changes that, but it's shocking to see the Liam Cohen effect, where yards before contact, Jacksonville last year was near the very bottom of the league. This year, they're near the very top. Tampa last year went from, in 2023, being 24th in that statistic to 4th, and now they're all the way down to 30th. Bucky Irving is being hit more behind the line of scrimmage than any running backs not named Chase Brown and Ashon Genty. So I just think Tampa is going to have to air it out in this game, and to where New England versus Carolina, Carolina, remember, since I know the last 2 weeks it's been better, but heading into week 2, they had in 7 straight games given up 200-plus rushing yards. And I still think that defense is, for the most part, there. So if New England gets up, you could just see a lot more running. Maybe this is the Trevion Henderson breakout game. I do trust Baker slightly more than I do May. But I agree with these guys that, May is somebody that I'm good with rolling 90% of the time. I just can't put him ahead of Baker yet, especially when he's done so well the first 3 weeks without one of the best offensive linemen in football not being there, and now that guy's back.
Okay. Good points, man. Good points. Next one from Frosty. Knicks or Fields? Frosty, we talked this same question earlier. We had a strong lean towards Fields there.
Especially in 4 point.
Yeah, Fields over.
6 point maybe is where the type of format where you lean maybe more towards Knicks, but even then I'd probably still take Fields anyway.
From Bryce here. Kyle, we'll let you lead off. Start one, Chuba Hubbard, Tony Pollard, or Quinshon Judkins, who's been a nice surprise after 0 training camp, and he's just been
He's
into the offense, and he's produced.
He's a beast.
Yeah, he's good.
But Kyle, the Lions today, right? That's the defense that typically is attacked through the air and not on the ground. So this could be like a really bad game script for Judkins. So I'm leaning Chuba Hubbard.
Okay.
I know he's questionable, so I still don't know we have full confirmation that he's playing. But if he's active, I would go Hubbard.
I'd really like to know if it's PPR or half, or because if it's half PPR, Judkins is much better for that than PPR.
Yeah, Hubbard's been catching all the passes in PPR, but I think even half PPR, I'm leaning Hubbard anyway. But again, it's all dependent on if he plays. It helps
Judkins a little bit more.
I know everything is said he's expected to play, so.
Where are you gonna go here? Let's just assume it's full point PPR. Hubbard, Pollard.
Then I would do Pollard, because he's still getting all of the snaps. He's just not lucky with the touchdowns yet, which could come.
We got one Hubbard, one Pollard. Keith, where are you going here? Are you siding with Kyle? You siding with Ike? Hubbard, Pollard, Judkins. Where are you going?
I will say that, I think Judkins is somebody that you should feel pretty safe about playing today. He's faced 2 pretty good run defenses right off the bat, and he's averaging 5.5 yards per carry. But I'm going to go Hubbard, especially if we're saying full PPR. The Patriots have given up 14 receptions to running backs in just the last 2 weeks, and Hubbard is all of a sudden Alvin Kamara in this Carolina offense. So, and I don't mean Alvin Kamara this year. I mean Alvin Kamara previously. Yeah. So I feel pretty safe with Hubbard, because I do think New England's going to win that game. And if they're up, that is very good news for Hubbard, who has just been so involved in the passing game. And again, HN, 8 receptions week 2. Last week, Jalen Warren had 5 receptions. So they definitely can give up pass catches to the backs in the backfield.
So many injuries for the Panthers, too. They're going to have no choice but to target Hubbard.
Yeah, no, Sanders is big.
Yep. With you there, we're going to go Hubbard there. From Cody, Keith, we'll let you start off. Pick 2 full point PPR. Quentin Johnston, Jacoby Myers, Golden, or Cam Scatterboo?
For me, this actually is not really that tough. It's Quentin Johnston and Cam Scatterboo.
Nice,
Johnson,
yes.
Every time I try to fade him or say he's not going to do it. He just keeps doing it. And I mean, this is a sample size going way back last year. So we need to stop thinking about what he was before like the last 10 games. And then Cam Scattaboo, man, like the volume just continues to increase. Tyron Tracy is not going to play. And I just love his upside as a pass catcher. Like, not only has he been very effective running the ball, but he's been really good. I mean, he accounted for 40% of the Giants' offense. Last
he's fun to watch too.
Yeah, he's a bowling ball. I have more concerns about him. Can he hold up running that way for an entire year than anything? Like, the talent's there, and he's just a beast. But the other thing, remember, is Jackson Dart starting, and to me, they're going to lean on the run and probably be trying to get the ball out of Dart's hands in a hurry. And that usually means a lot of catches to, short receivers and, tight ends and running backs. So I feel really good about Scattaboo and Johnston. Jacoby Myers is an interesting play, and Golden obviously has upside versus a Dallas team that has been torched by big plays. But I just think Johnston and Scattaboo are like very safe floors with really high upsides.
All right. Ike, you seem to side with Keith here, so I'll go to Kyle. Yeah. Where are you going here with pick 2 full PPR? Johnston, Myers, Golden, Scattaboo.
Against the Bears, I really want to play Jacoby Myers. I know Trey Tucker, the takeover is starting, but I just think the whole passing volume should be there enough that I'm still going to rank Myers higher than Johnston. I'm pretty tempted to just play both receivers, though. With Scattaboo playing against the Chargers, it's okay, lots of volume, but is that defense shut them down in a rookie QB's first start? That's just enough risk for me that I'd go with both the receivers.
He scored 20 points last week against the Chiefs, and they had 180 total yards offense. I think the Chiefs defense is better than who they're playing today. No offense to the Chargers, but I mean, I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I think I disagree there. The Chargers shut down the Chiefs offense, so I'd actually argue the Chargers. I mean,
the Chiefs offense sucks, though.
It's terrible. But I'm not expecting the Giants offense to be very good either, though. So,
but I mean, that's my point, though, is like if they didn't do anything literally, Russell Wilson threw for like 90 yards last week, and the dude had, again, 20 points. He was running back 5. To me, that's guaranteed touches. I can't ever sit that, especially now when a guy caught 6 passes last week. Like, it's not like he's not going to be involved in the passing game.
It would be fun to play
I'm cool with the Myers thing. Like, I'm good with that. Like, I totally understand, like, the Myers-Johnson. It is close in the receiver term, but, like, I can't sit a running back's going to get that kind of volume, especially in PPR where, he's going to get the goal line touches. He's going to get pass catches. Like, I love Scattaboo moving forward.
Tracy. Yeah, you know what? That does make sense. Okay, so, yeah, you probably do need to play Scattaboo here and choose whatever receiver you think. I guess it would be fun to play that Giants-Chargers sack game, like, both sides. Feels like you're on opposite ends of what you want, but you'd prefer to have the Chargers running back and the Giants wide receiver, the team that's going to win running back versus that's where. Yeah, I think I'll change my answer. I'll go Scattaboo Myers instead of Myers Johnson.
From our guy Mike LaPlante here, start 1 wide receiver, 1 flex PPR. Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Javonte Williams, Ricky Pearsall. Ike, take it away, man. Where are you going here? 1 wide receiver, 1 flex.
I'm gonna go Quentin Johnston. Because like Keith has been saying, his past few games, even dating back to last year a little bit, he's been good. His hands seem to be working again finally, so that's good. And then for flex, is Brock Purdy back? Because if so, I like Pearsall a little bit, but I'm going
Javonte.
I'm going Javonte. PPR running back, that's always good.
Tough matchup against the Packers. Interesting there. But Kyle, where are you going to go here? 1 wide receiver, 1 flex.
As good as Johnston's been, Keenan Allen's been right there with him, and he feels like he's the more consistent one that's just going to remain. If this pass rush for the Giants is any kind of issue for the Chargers, Allen's going to be the main target. So I have him ranked as a wide receiver 12 in half PPR, let alone full PPR. So I think Keenan Allen's a must start. I mean, to me, he's become the Chargers wide receiver 1. It's not Ladd, it's not Quentin Johnston, it's Keenan Allen. He's leading them in targets. He's just going to. We know he's going to do that with Herbert, so I view Allen as like a must-start every week. So I'd go Keenan Allen. I kind of want to lean Ricky Pearsall with Purdy back, but he is questionable. But because Javonte plays Sunday night, you have that ability to switch that out. So I'd go Keenan Allen, Ricky Pearsall.
Okay, Keith?
Yeah, like actually Pearsall, if Juwan Johnson is out again, or excuse me, Juwan Jennings is out again this week, Pearsall is, to me, just a must-start. He saw 11 targets last week. Without him, He's top 5 in yards per game, yards per reception, yards per target, first down receptions. Like, he's going to get peppered. Again, if Jennings is out. I'm going to go ahead and say, though, if, like, for some reason Jennings is playing, I might just roll with both Chargers. I mean, if you look what they've done this year, and not to mention, that way you're definitely getting one of the two, right? Like, they've both been kind of going off, but I would assume that if one of them has a bad game, that means the other is probably going to have a big game, right? Even if Ladd ends up picking up some of that, I would think that would mean either Johnson or Allen. And I think they're both pretty safe floors, because what we're seeing is Chargers are dropping back a lot, and there's 3 guys they're throwing the ball to. It's those 2 guys and Ladd. Like, that's the other great thing, is just it's a very condensed offense. So I might roll with both, but I like all 4 of these, so your team is loaded if you're sitting 2 of them, because I would be playing almost all of these guys in the majority of my leagues.
No, that's totally fair here. Then we got one from Dion. Should I sit Bucky against Philadelphia? I scrolled down and saw his other option would be J.K. Dobbins. Kyle, would you sit Bucky for J.K. Dobbins?
See, with Wirfs coming back, I think with me, Bucky, the issue has clearly been the offensive line. So as the O-line gets healthier, I expect him to bounce back. So I'm still, now that we know, like, I guess we don't have the full confirmation, but the expectation that Wirfs is back, I think that's enough for me to play Irving. They're pretty close to the rankings. So.
We do have the full confirmation. Baker Mayfield, Chris Godwin, Tristan Wirfs will play week 4 per Sal Paolantonio.
Okay, so then, I'll stick with Bucky here.
Yeah.
Keith, Bucky or Dobbins?
Yeah, I mean, I like Dobbins a lot this week. I think Denver, again, needs to start using him and Harvey more if they want to kind of get back to what that offense looked like last year. But with Wirf coming back, and I mean, Bucky's been, like, decent. Like, it's been disappointing, but you would hope that percentage of the runs increases, right? Like, he's not getting behind the line of scrimmage nearly as much with Wirf returning. And then the great thing about Bucky is he does catch passes. We saw it in the Houston game where, like, he was having a clunker, and then I think he caught like 5 passes on the last drive. And that can, happen anytime Philadelphia or a defense is getting pressure. So I would roll with Bucky, at least again. Now, if he still struggles, then that would be, become more of I might really consider playing Dobbins over him. But I can't sit him, with him getting, again, the offensive line back. Same thing I was saying about Baker earlier.
Sounds good. Keith, we'll let you take this one away. We got Trey Tucker or Matthew Golden.
Again, volume is king for me. Tucker, 17 targets the last 2 weeks and a rush attempt each game. Expected fantasy points, which is, again, I'm a nerd. It's something I really lean into. He's 7th among all wide receivers, which is wild. But again, it's just showing because he's actually getting volume. It's not just the explosive plays. And then on top of that, Chicago has already allowed 8 different wide receivers to catch a pass of 24 yards or more. So that is called giving up lots of big plays. Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, there's been a lot of them, and that's what Trey Tucker is. And we know Geno's not afraid to push it down the field. I get the, upside of Golden this week, but, Trey Tucker is somebody that, if he has another big target week, this is for real. This is now he may be the guy other than Bowers that is going to see the most volume. So, and what's great about Tucker is, unlike Myers, he's just so explosive. He could take any catch, any rush, and take it to the house because he really is a burner.
Okay. Ike, you're not in agreement there, I'm assuming?
Yeah, he's getting the volume that most wanted Matthew Golden in the beginning, but he's just not getting it yet. So Trey Tucker for me.
Sure. Kyle, clean sweep, or you go with your Packer guy?
No, I mean, I'm going to pick against the Bears defense. That's all we need for him. But, I mean, I just said it, right? We're hoping Matthew Golden gets the targets. We're seeing Trey Tucker actually.
Okay. And then Kyle will let you take this one away. I need a QB for the week. Michael Penix, Marcus Mariota, Tua Tagovailoa.
I think this is pretty easily Marcus. Take the rushing quarterback. We saw what he did last week. I mean, it might be tougher defense. I know, Keith, I know you're maybe not the happiest with your Falcons, but I have to admit the defense is probably better than the Raiders' defense, but I still don't know if it's good enough to stop Mariota from doing what he wants to do.
He's averaging 15 points at least per game every year that he's made more than 2 starts. And last week he scored 20 points. I mean, again, it's what I've really shifted to in the last couple of years in fantasy leagues is these rushing QBs, they're cheat codes. They're getting 3 times the points that your passing guys do. Like they get more points for rushing touchdowns. They get more points for yardage. Like all that is really big. And don't forget, Washington is without a bunch of guys. Like no Terry Mack, no Noah Brown. What do you think that means? We're pretty good versus the run, but historically we struggle with running quarterbacks. So like I just think Mariota is by far the safest of those three guys, because I just want to remind people, I know the Jets have been awful this year and it looks like a defense you want to pick on. Aaron Glenn completely changed the system with a lot of real studs, and I think you're going to eventually see, and it could start this week, the Jets defense starting to look like the defense a lot of people thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year, because I believe in Aaron Glenn and I believe in those guys that they have. They have a bunch of like difference makers on defense. And I saw a great video the other day just saying they look lost right now because they are playing an entirely new system. So I don't think Tua's matchup is quite as great as everybody thinks. And then again with Penix, like he's not had a big fantasy game really yet in his career. So, I mean, the Falcons are being very protective with him. I don't even think this is really close. Like Mariota had 10 points just in rushing last week.
No, totally fair. That's where I would lean as well. Ike is in agreement there. So go ahead, move on. Morning, Big Bills guy. We got Chase Brown or DJ Moore, full point PPR. Ike, take it away, my guy. Chase Brown, 2 yards per carry this year. Man.
It's not looking great. I'm going DJ. That's what I'm going that, 'cause I still trust Caleb.
Keith, man, what do we got here with the disappointing Chase Brown or kind of disappointing DJ Moore outside of the touchdown last week?
I mean, the thing is the one way to attack Denver has really been running the ball, right? Like that's the way to do it. Their weakness is by far their linebackers. The problem is that stat that I was talking about earlier where, Ashton Genty leads the league with 35% of his runs, the contact's happening a yard or further behind the line of scrimmage. Bucky Irvin's at 33, and then right next to him is Chase Brown at 32%. So, like, it's not really Chase Brown, Bucky Irvin, Genty. They're running behind really bad offensive lines. So I'm going to go DJ Moore. And again, a game I think that there's going to be a lot of points in that Chicago-Las Vegas game. In a dome, let's get frisky.
Yep. Sounds good, Kyle.
Unlike with Bucky Irving, where it's the offensive line injuries. Like you know that this line is better when they're healthy.
Yep.
The Bengals and the Raiders, like these are the best they can trot out this year. Like it's probably not going to get any better. So
what we got?
I'm. You want volume running backs, and at least Chase Brown's getting the volume when it's so inefficient and the offense isn't scoring at all. Then, I would go DJ Moore as well. Yeah, Raiders defense isn't very good, so.
No, definitely not. Keith, will let you take this one from Alex. Flex, Waddle or Chuba Hubbard here, full point PPR?
I mean, it's tough, but again, I just think that Carolina, I don't know who else they're going to be throwing to. You got Ted McMillan, Tommy Tremble. It's rough. And we've already seen Hubbard be so involved in the offense. I like Waddle. He's somebody that is a decent play. It's like a wide receiver 3, maybe even could be in the wide receiver 2 if Miami's offense gets going a little bit better. But I got to play Hubbard. It looks like he's going to definitely play. And just on passing alone, I would think he's probably going to get 8 to 10 points in a full PPR.
Sure. Okay. Kyle, where are you going here? Waddle, Hubbard?
Funny that Alex and Big Bills guy had very similar questions, right? Running back versus wide receiver in full PPR. Yep. I actually have Jalen Waddle ranked higher than DJ Moore, but I also have Hubbard ranked higher than Brown. And this is where I think I default to the volume running back. So I would go Chuba.
Like Chuba for you as well?
Yeah, I like Hubbard. Yep.
All right, from KJ here. We'll just do the first part of the question first. For the flex, BTJ, Jawan Jennings, who's banged up, questionable to go.
It's still BTJ. It's BJ still.
Okay. Kyle, Keith, you agree with BTJ over Jennings?
Yeah, I'm going to give it another week.
I mean, there's risk with both, but the bigger risk is with Jennings just not playing. And I'm pretty sure the Jags play at 1 o'clock. So you've got to make this decision before we know for sure if Jennings is active. So I would definitely lean Brian.
Yeah, that's my hard lean there as well. And then Kyle, flex Debo or Pearsall, full point PPR.
Now, this is one where I'd ideally like to play Pearsall because of, again, the upside with Purdy, especially if Jennings is out. But the truth is he's questionable himself. So there's still the risk of what if they're both out. And again, Washington, I believe, is playing in this 1 p.m. Eastern slate. So you, again, have to make this decision now. No Terry McLaurin does make it very tempting to play Debo.
Yes, it does.
Didn't get a lot of catches last week, but now they're not going to have a choice. So I think I'm playing it safe and playing Debo Samuel.
Okay. Ike, Debo Pearsall.
I'm going Pearsall. As long as he's healthy, he's going to be the guy getting the targets. So.
Okay. Keith?
Yeah, I'm going to go Pearsall. I mean, I get the questionable thing, but it was the exact same situation from like what he did during the week. And he ended up playing, obviously, in week 3, seeing 11 targets and having a monster game. So I'd be shocked if he doesn't play. Obviously, there is a chance that there's that risk. But the other thing is just like nobody saw more than 4 targets last week in Washington. Nobody. Like,
they didn't
nobody.
Run. I mean, they didn't pass.
And they threw it 21, though, times is what I'm saying. So Mariota is obviously, you know what I'm saying, spreading it around to a bunch of different guys. And I know with McLaurin out, I still think that they're going to be trying to run, and you're going to see obviously a lot of Ertz and Debo. But I mean, the Falcons are also like they've been pretty good against the pass. The issue has been actually like big plays. I don't know if like Mariota doesn't scare me in that point, like throwing it down the field. And I thought Debo was going to be more involved in the run game with the issues that they had, last week, and he still only saw 3 carries. So I'm going to go Pearsall, but. Another guy that's just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't know how you have all 4 of these guys on your roster and you're having to make this choice. I would be starting pretty much all of them. So.
Now, this could also, I mean, is this the same team? I don't know, but I also just saw, like, there's Adam Schefter tweeted out that Pearsall's expected to play. So,
okay.
Maybe
it really was. It was the exact same, and like him sitting out and then being, a non-contact participant or whatever on Friday. And I think they know somebody's been banged up. That's been kind of his issue in college too, to where they're just going to kind of let him not practice and then, play on Sundays.
Supposedly both receivers are expected to play.
Oh, they do think Jennings is too? Okay, cool.
Yeah, but he's clearly not 100%, so it seems like Pearsall is less likely to miss. So maybe he's healthier. He can be more explosive.
Are y'all surprised that they're bringing Purdy back like this quickly? Because to me, you're 3-0. It's a toe thing that can get worse. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't rest him a little bit longer and let that heal.
Is it because Mac's banged up too? Mac Jones is banged up as well. You think maybe that could be
true.
a
He's
big part?
pretty questionable too.
That's fair. That's fair.
Purdy,
yeah, that would make more sense.
They still have like a Brandon Allen as like a third stringer or something. Like
Kyle Shanahan could throw me and you in there and we'd throw for probably 200 yards and a touchdown. So we throw some picks, but I'm just saying, like, you're going to get 200 yards and a touchdown. No matter who throws back there.
Maybe you, Keith. I can't really throw a football. So
I can't either, but that's what I'm saying. Okay. He'd find a way. He'd work around our weaknesses.
Yeah.
Ike, where
it off to McCaffrey 30 times. Okay.
There you go. Where are we going to go with this one from 2 surprise guys at the tight end position between Juwan Johnson?
Yeah, this is actually a really good one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kincaid, though. I like what I've seen from, even though Johnson's been doing just as good, though, but I trust the Bills' offense more.
Does it worry you that this game script is not good for the Saints here? Bills up. What's the line? 14 and a half.
Oh, so it's gone down a point.
It has gone down a point. Yep. DraftKings 14 and a half right now. That's what worries me about the game.
I feel like maybe they're going to start focusing on stopping Juwan Johnson now that he is the second option there. So maybe they can shut him down and maybe Kamara gets the ball more or Olave will get it more. But right now, Kincaid is the touchdown guy for the Bills in receiving. So that's who I want. Yeah.
Keith, who do you want here? Juwan Johnson, Dalton Kincaid.
I mean, I'll admit it's really close because Johnson has a really tough matchup. Like Buffalo, I think is first against tight ends, at least on DraftKings. So, like, I mean, it is a stout defense, but you said it, Dylan. Like, you look at the games this year, like Buffalo's had 2 that they controlled throughout, and then 1 that obviously the first week was close. And those 2 games that they kind of dominated. James Cook, 40 carries for 240 yards and 3 touchdowns, 13 for 44 in the game where they got down early. No offense. Actually, it's the Saints. Fuck them. Offense all taken. They're terrible. They're not going to be in this game. I think that's a heavy run volume for Buffalo. That's also great for you on the other side, right, though, because Johnson, I mean, the volume, he's like, I think, second or third in expected fantasy points. He's second or third target. He's top 5 across the board. And even in a tough matchup, I just think he's going to get so many more opportunities. Kincaid, where if he doesn't score that touchdown, we've seen it's like 4 for 40 is probably like a good game for him. So I'm going to go Johnson, but it is close.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Just to add to your point about the Bills just going to be running the ball. James Cook, anytime touchdown, guys, is minus 190 today. Minus 190, which that's crazy to me. Kyle, what are you going here? But it makes sense. It makes sense.
Man, I've been back and forth on this. I'm in the Paulie's playoff. Shout out to Shane Barrett. It's a charity tournament. That's raise money for Alzheimer's research and families affected by it. And I've been going back and forth because I've got both as tight end. Drafted Kincaid, but good waiver wire addition in Johnson because of the targets. It's funny because in my lineup I had Johnson, and I looked at my rankings. I had Kincaid higher, so I don't know what to do. It's Bills are going to score more points, so you like the tight end for that and Kincaid, but because they're going to score more points if he doesn't get that touchdown early, Johnson's throwing the targets. I think I'm trusting my rankings, and I had Kincaid higher, and that's where I'm going to go. I want to invest in the better offense. Like, they're going to score points. I know in the past sometimes we think, it gets to be a blowout and the pass catchers don't do anything, but also sometimes because it's a blowout, that's like 5 touchdowns. That gives them so many opportunities to get those. So Bills love to run it on the ground. I'm leaning Kincaid. That's going to be something. Cody, you and I, it's funny. So many teams, Cody and I seem to build this in a similar ways. Nice. I'll be going down to like 1 o'clock trying to make that decision, but I am leaning Kincaid right now. That's how I have it in mind.
Guys, I've been staring at this question for a minute. This one's you could start 3, so one of the guys have to sit, and that's Tyreek Hill, Quentin Johnston, AJ Brown, Rome Odunze, who's really burst out on the scene. Kyle, I'll let you take this one away.
Absolutely,
you do
have to start Odunze. You're never benching him the rest of the season. He is the wide receiver 1 on this team. The way he's earning, he's the wide receiver 1 of the Bears clearly, but the way Caleb's playing well enough, I think he has to be in the lineup. I think Quentin Johnston's the lowest in my rankings of these 3.
Yeah. AJ Brown's sketchy sometimes. Tyreek Hill is on an offense with the Dolphins that are just weirdly inept. This is weird. This is tough.
I think I'm benching Johnston because of the same thing we just worried about the Bills, right? Like, the Chargers are probably going to blow out the Giants. So at a certain point, is he not the guy that's going to earn a lot of targets because they don't need to be hitting on these deep shots? I think that's the risk here. Point. I think with AJ Brown, I expect the Bucs to put up enough of a fight. I mean, the Eagles always struggle in Tampa, so they probably can't afford to just run. Like, this feels like it's going to be what they had to do last week against the Rams. So
we don't know if the Eagles can just run in general. Like, other than the Cowboys game, like Barkley, there's some concerning statistics. Like, if you look at explosive rates, et cetera, that maybe that super volume season last year is having an effect this year.
So I've narrowed it down, I think, to either benching Tyreek or benching Quentin Johnston. I'm leaning Johnston.
I would lean Johnson.
How about you, man? Who's the one guy? Okay, Ike's with Kyle there. So will you make it a clean sweep that Quentin Johnston is the guy to sit here, or you look at elsewhere?
No, I think I'm okay with Johnston. Like, I just can't sit Tyreek, especially like with the stuff that happened yesterday with Tyreek, and then it come out he was at his dad's birthday, and people were just obviously crapping on him. Like, Hill's that guy that, like, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes out and just has a monster game with all the noise and everything. But I do just want to add on Odunze because he is now second in expected fantasy points on the season at wide receiver, and the Raiders run cover 3 at the highest rate in the NFL through 3 games this season. Odunze is averaging 2.59 fantasy points per target versus zone, and is having a 23% first read target share. So I have Odunze as like one of the biggest plays on DK. 6,300. I said he's second in expected fantasy points. He's the 10th most expensive receiver on the slate, playing a defense that plays zone that he's killed so far this season.
He's still cheap. That's weird.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on here to Terry. We got full point PPR, Debo or Chuba, the first part of that. I'll let you do that one.
Chuba. We've been saying Chuba this whole time when his name come up, and I think he's a better play than Debo for sure.
Okay. Kyle, same for you. You're going to go Chuba over Debo? You're muted.
I don't think Debo's awful without Daniels, but he's certainly better with Jaden Daniels. So yeah, I would also go with the volume back, assuming he's playing. I don't know if we've got the full confirmation yet. Still don't see the inactives for the Panthers, so that's still question's still hanging over. But assuming.
Oh, there it is. I just got it 52 seconds ago. Chuba is active. Christian Gonzalez active. Derek Stingley, which is a surprise, he's active this week with the oblique. And Bill Krosky Merritt is active with the knee injury as well. Keith, so Debo or Chuba for you, my friend?
Oh, it's Chuba. Again, I just think it's a perfect storm for him in this game versus New England. I just also want to take a victory lap for the 0 RBs and people saying it was dead after last year. Kenneth Gainwell, by the way, just scored his
don't tell me that.
touchdown. I'm just telling you, like that. You can always find running backs. Always. And don't be surprised. Sorry to those that drafted Caleb Johnson, because this is proof with the volume right now that Gainwell's getting in this game. He is not going to be getting any touches this season.
I'm facing Kenneth Gainwell in my home league.
He's having a big game. I hate to tell you that.
23 fantasy points. I just pulled it up. 57 yards.
Well, I'm the idiot.
I'm assuming the Vikings defense probably has like a 0.
Which one did you say? Minnesota. They have a few sacks. They have some sacks, but I don't. So I don't think they have a 0.
Boy, they.
Yep. They got 8. I think they got 8. They also blocked the field goal.
Oh, that's right.
So to Terry's other question, I think we addressed this earlier. I think I was saying Daniel Jones, but I think Keith, you were on Baker Mayfield still ahead of him. Or was that?
Yeah, I mean, I have again, they're close. I just think that Baker is got a much larger sample size of what he's done. Very impressed by the way he's played the first 2 weeks without Wirf. He gets Wirf back, and Tampa's really struggled running the ball. Even with Wirf returning, I don't know if that's going to improve because Philly is just so stout, both up front and with linebackers. It's tough to run the ball. I just think that, that means Baker's going to have to throw more. A lot of Godwin, Otten, Ibuka, Bucky, and Rashad White catching passes. But it's really close. And I actually think if you think Indianapolis is going to get blown out or, beat where they're playing from behind, I would play Daniel Jones over them. I think Indy's for real. I think it's going to be a close game.
And I think earlier it was Mayfield or May, but the same reasons I'd be high on Daniel Jones, the same reason for Drake May. So.
Okay. Ike, where are you going to go here? Mayfield.
I'm going to go Indiana Jones.
All right. Then from TJ, Kyle, let you start Pearsall or Tucker Kraft in the flex. And then would you think about sitting?
Part of the question.
Agreed. I'm with you.
Always played Brock Bowers.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't sit Bowers, please.
I mean, is Tucker Kraft isn't questionable, but I know he wasn't 100% last week, and it kind of showed. I mean, the whole offense was just bad. Assuming Pearsall plays,
I think Cleveland's defense though is elite. I really do.
Yeah, no, I think that they definitely shut them down. But yeah, I'm still going Pearsall over Kraft though. We don't know the format. If there's tight end premium, maybe that enters into it. But Kraft isn't really better in tight end premium because he doesn't get the volume. It's just big touchdowns and big yardage on small volume. So I'm still going Pearsall here, assuming he plays.
Same with Keith and Ike, Pearsall over Kraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know why does Green Bay refuse to feature any pass catcher ever? It seems like since Devontae's left.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Kraft is unbelievable. He is the kind of tight end that if I had on my roster and I looked at my receivers, no offense, I would be throwing it to him at least 6-7 times every game because he's so good after the catch. On top of actually being a good receiver down the field. I don't get it, but seeing 4 targets last week, he was questionable going into the game that he went crazy 2 weeks ago. So, he's been kind of banged up. I didn't stop him from a monster game 2 weeks ago. And then in a game that was tight, they threw it to him 4 times. I just don't understand it.
I don't get it either. Don't get it either, man. From Rich here, we got, unfortunately, I don't know which Brown that is.
I assume Chase.
Right? Yeah.
Chase, okay. Chase Brown.
Because they're all running backs. That's where my brain went to.
That's fair. Chase Brown, Travis Etienne, Chuba Hubbard, Cam Scatterbo need 2 PPR. Keith, take it away here.
I'm going to go again, Chuba, and Scadaboo. Like, they're two
Yeah.
guys that I really like this week. Like, Scadaboo was running back 5 versus Kansas City when they couldn't move the ball. Like, they didn't move the ball, and he put up that kind of volume. It's the second week in a row, too, that he did really well with only, I think it was 12 touches week 2, 16 last week. That's going to continue to increase. Again, Tyrone Tracy's out. Etienne, to me, is like somebody that I would consider definitely playing. I'm a little scared. They're starting to do some weird stuff with Allen and Tootin. It's like he's not,
Yeah. Classic.
It's typical bullshit with him, to be honest.
Yeah.
To where we know that Chuba is on the field all the freaking time, and
Yep.
Scadaboo is gonna, I think, continue to, just only get more in that range. After a week last week where he got basically all the carries and again saw 8 targets and caught 6 passes.
Clean sweep here, boys.
Yeah.
Getting Chuba.
No, I actually have Etienne's my highest rank running back. I want to play him.
Really? Okay.
No Nick Bosa. Like, what is this 49ers defense going to be, right? So I think I want to test that with Etienne. And maybe it's the Canadian bias in me. I'd still go Hubbard over Scadaboo.
Right on.
Or I guess I'd also go Chase Brown over Scadaboo for that same reason.
Oh, wow.
Guys,
That's-
are we?
That one probably should. Like, that one probably should be Scadaboo over Chase Brown.
Sure. Yeah.
I feel pretty strong about Hubbard.
Bo Nix or Justin Herbert? For me, I'm just rolling Justin Herbert out every week at this point,
Yeah.
guys. Do you agree with that?
Yep.
Yeah. The matchup isn't nearly good enough. I mean, it could be the best matchup in the world. I think the way Herbert's producing, he's like several tiers above Bo Nix right now.
Mm-hmm.
The best matchup versus the worst matchup. I'm still going.
What's up, Dylan? Like your name, man. Full point PPR, 2 different leagues. Need to win. Mariota with no Terry or Tua Tagovailoa. I think we had a similar question, didn't we? Go Mariota.
I think we all across the board. Went
Yeah.
The
Mariota.
only thing I will say that just if you want to get a little deeper on it is if it's a game that you think you're going to lose and you need a monster performance, I actually think I would play Tua because the Jets defense, like I do think they're going to get better, but they've really, look what Rodgers did to them, week 1.
Sure.
So there is the upside play, but it's just Mariota's so safe. Like I know for me, if I can know I'm going to get like 15 points from a quarterback and I don't have one of the top guys, like sign me up. So, I would go Mariota.
Yep, I'm right there with you. Then one flex, DeAndre Swift, Xavier Worthy, Juwan Johnson. For me, I think this is pretty easy. I'm still leaning with Swift with the volume he gets, and he's the clear guy there. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Worthy is intriguing, but yeah, I think Swift is the safer play, assuming he plays. So that's a later game, but the Chiefs also play at that time frame. So
I gotta
you
see
keep
what
Juwan
Worthy is. Worthy,
Yeah.
how is
I
he,
can't
how
play
is
him
he
right
gonna
now.
react to playing with
First
that
game,
injury,
yeah,
with the
coming off the
shoulder
game.
injury,
Yeah.
being such a small guy too, and just being able to take hits with that, even extending his arms. It's interesting for me.
I'd be
it's just-
worried.
He would be a
It's a lot
definite
of
wide
risk.
receiver 3 for me, or like depending on your situation at flex. Like I understand the concerns, but they need him. And I just want to remind people, this is like one of the most fascinating games in forever. You have 2 perennial powerhouses that are, one of them is going to be 1-3 after the first 4 weeks. So like this is a must-win game for both sides, and that's why I think that like not
At
only
least
is
the
Worthy's
Ravens
playing,
have
they're gonna
the weaker
use him,
division.
right? That's very true, but I still think like you don't want to be 1-3. Like even
don't-
in
they
that
don't have a
division,
Like 1-3 Chargers are probably going
Pittsburgh's
to be
winning
3-0,
right now.
dude.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, that's rough.
Well, then
4-0.
let's be real. They're playing the Giants. Like I don't think Jackson Dart's going to win this, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
that big
Yeah, Chiefs going down 3 games in that. Oh boy,
You know what though? I think Dylan has Worthy in
with
the
one
ideal
loss
spot.
already to the Chargers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so the head to head too. Like so, yeah, they have to even climb ahead of them to win that division.
Yep.
They might already be looking at let's just make a wild card. That's
Yeah.
road in the playoffs. Imagine that.
Yeah,
But I
right.
think Worthy's ideal here because you don't have to play him. But if Swift is out and you need to insert someone, that type of upside is probably hard to get from an injury replacement. So yeah, Swift makes sense to have as the starter for now.
And then other league, one flex. We got Golden Swift, Chase Brown. Kyle?
Swift again here, and again, this is Brown playing Monday, so you get if Swift's out, you'll have that injury replacement already lined up.
It's a nice thing. Yep, totally agree.
All right. Then from BD here, Alec Manor or Troy Franklin, who was good week 2. Last week, not so much, got slowed down. Ike, where are you going to go here? From Manor or Franklin?
Manor. He's getting a little bit more of the targets than Troy Franklin does. So, plus he's actually getting touchdowns too. So that's nice.
Cam Ward's guy, man, Io Manor is right now. He's not able to trust Calvin Ridley deal with all the drops and everything. So that's where I would lean as well. Keith, I'm curious yours and Kyle's thoughts here on Io Manor or Troy Franklin.
Man, it's tough because like I like that Franklin is getting consistent volume, but so is Io Manor, and I just think Tennessee's going to be down again. And throwing to where there's a good chance Denver, could be up big and again running a lot more. So I'm going to go Io Manor. It is wild that like again I'm still up on Calvin Ridley overall this season. I still think he'll probably end up being like a top 25 wide receiver before it's all said and done. But Io Manor is seeing like pretty much same first read share, target share, like all the stuff is almost identical, which will be good for Cam Ward and that Titans as they get out of this brutal start to their season and pass defenses they face. It's outrageous.
Yeah.
Who is the Titans' number one receiver? Technically, it is Ridley because he has more targets, but the catch rate's been so bad that Io Manor actually has more receptions. So yeah, I'm starting to consider Io Manor like he's ranked ahead of Ridley for me. Like I'm considering him the Titans' number one receiver, at least in terms of ranking. So I'm pretty easily going Io Manor over Frank. I know it's a good match against the Bengals, but
we got Drake May or Daniel Jones. I don't know if we answered this one.
It's funny. We had Daniel Jones versus Baker. We had Drake May versus Baker, but we haven't done it this way yet. I have Daniel Jones as I think one spot ahead of Drake May.
Okay.
They're both runners. I feel like Daniel Jones has higher rushing ceiling, which is weird to say. Again, he's never been the touchdown producer, but he suddenly is. It's amazing what you have with a good offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the fact that Jones scored almost 16 points, last week in a close game, and then 30 points. I think it was week one. In games that they just dominated, right? Like it wasn't close at all. And I just think they're going to need him to use his legs because this is a really good run defense. And I don't think they're going to be able to just pound Jonathan Taylor to move the ball consistently like that they have the last couple of weeks. And two of the three quarterbacks to face the Rams so far this season have rushed for 30-plus yards. So with Jones' upside of scoring rushing touchdowns and then again C.J. Stroud rarely runs, and he ran for 30 yards against this team. So I think you're going to see Daniel Jones, using his legs a little bit more, whether it be through design or just because he's got to run against this great pass rush.
All right, Ike.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. I've been saying him all day. So
okay. And then for Malik, we're going to go Daniel Jones over Fields too.
Oh,
get all the same upside with Jones, but there's so much more risk with Fields. Yeah,
I can't. But I mean, I'm cool. I understand why they would. I just, again, I know that it was really bad week 2. He's been cleared. It was a concussion, so like it's not like he's dealing with a leg or a hamstring or something. And until I see a bigger sample size, dude's averaged 19 points per game every year that he's had. Like Daniel Jones, even at his best, is like basically averaging right at like 20-21. And this has been one of the best 3-game stretches he's ever had in his fantasy career. So I'm going to go with Fields.
Okay.
He's averaging more than 21 right now. He had 34 in week 1, 27 week 2, at least one of the leagues I have. I don't know if the scoring is that much different, but I don't know. The way Daniel Jones is averaging, he's averaging like higher than what Fields' ceiling is. So it's super small sample size. I get it, but if this is who I'm willing to trust that this is who Daniel Jones is on the Colts.
Ooh.
That's why to me, he's going to be locked in.
We heard that 2 years ago, didn't we, in New York with him and Barkley, and they made the playoffs.
He was never this good though. For fantasy, he was never this good. Like, this is a whole new different version to me, and like I'm willing to just throw everything else out and like this 3-game sample size. Daniel Jones to me is a top 5 QB. I'm just going to keep considering him, ranking him as a top 5. Top 6 once Daniels is back, but to me, like that kind of Herbert's raised into that tier. Keith, you've talked about a lot. Obviously, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are in that tier, but to me, it's those 6 guys, and then Drake May is the 7th because of his rushing. Does he fit in that, or is he the next guy? But that's how I'm going to rank quarterbacks a lot the rest of the year. Fields, in theory, on any given week, I'd prefer to have him, and that's a great transition to this question. Cool question, Roski. It's just so hard. Like, are we absolutely sure, because of how good Tyrod Taylor played, that they won't, if things go bad and they keep losing, that they won't just bench Fields and Tyrod will play games? Like, I'm not willing to let go of that fear. And maybe it's just
it is the Jets organization, but I feel like that would be crazy
it
if
feels
they
like
did that.
I mean, I think it's crazy that the Bears moved on from Fields in the first place, right? Like he's had the crazy things thrown at him every time. And I think as someone who's bought into Fields so much, it's just maybe I'm just so paranoid that the rug's always going to get pulled out. I have a hard time just saying I'm going to trust Fields rest of the season over Goff. So I would take Goff in my rest of season rankings just because on any given week, I'm probably ranking Fields ahead of Goff, but can I trust it till week 17 is the scary part.
Yeah,
this is why you have bench spots. Like, it's Justin Fields is the guy you want rest of season. But again, for the reason they say, and being a running quarterback, you obviously get banged up. You got to keep Goff as well. Like, I mean, if it's something where you have the two of them,
there's no
like
reason
to me,
to get rid of
it's
one.
just like Fields and May are basically on every roster I have this season because I just felt like they were two quarterbacks with good floors week to week and could potentially end up being like these monster, right? Like guys, but I had to have two of them. Like I spent the capital making sure, you know, when I took May to get Fields like right behind him, or earlier it was actually Fields before May. But I mean, you have to have two QBs if you're going to have somebody like Justin Fields. Or again, you know, if you didn't have somebody like Goff, you have to at least have Tyrod Taylor in the wings just in case.
No, that's a fair point. One from Dion. I think we touched on it a little bit. Keenan Allen or Quentin Johnston?
I'm Keenan Allen. I mean, Ike's next comment, right? The reaction to me saying Keenan Allen is top 12 receiver this week. He's been, I looked up in half PPR, he's been wide receiver 9, wide receiver 17, wide receiver 12. So he's going to be in the top 20 every week pretty safely. So I'll go with Keenan Allen, Mr. Copy Paste, as Jeff Lambert likes to say.
I again want to know, Dion, like who are the other guys that you're sitting? Because I think it's like not at all crazy to play both. You just look at what they've done each week. They've each seen, I think, at least 6 targets in every game. And we saw, you know, this Giants defense can give up some plays. And hopefully it's the week for Hampton owners that he gets it really going versus a really bad run defense. But that hasn't happened. Like even last week, his big game, it was more in the passing game that he really did his damage.
All right. Ike, would you go Keenan Allen or Quentin Johnston? What do you got here?
I'll go Keenan Allen.
Okay. And then I got about 7 minutes till the top of the hour, guys. So let's go a little bit rapid fire here so Keith can get going with the DFS stuff at the top of the hour. From Alex here, need 2 PPR. Higgins, Judy, Trey Tucker, or Travion Henderson, who may get more work this week after Ramondre's fumbles returned here. Kyle, I'll let you start here, man. Need 2 of these guys.
That's exactly it. Like because of what happened last week, I expect Henderson to be the lead back at most of the volume. So I'm just gonna I'll be a week early on him and put him in the lineup and say Henderson. And man, Higgins is probably gonna see Surtain if he plays.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really to trust Trey Tucker over Higgins though. Where do I have Tucker ranked? Yeah, I've got Higgins ranked actually just a couple spots higher.
Okay, so Higgins for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Keith, what do you got here? Higgins, Judy, Tucker, Henderson. Pick 2.
I'm going to go Higgins, Tucker.
Same.
Okay. Higgins, Tucker. Okay.
Yeah, I
Cody,
get wanting to see Henderson get it before you actually do it. It makes sense.
Play 2, Tyreek Hill, Quentin Johnston, Xavier Worthy. Ike, take this one away.
Tyreek Hill and Quentin Johnston.
I agree.
Tyreek Hill, Quentin Johnston. Okay, Kyle?
I think I went Myers over Johnston earlier. I'm going to stick with that to say Tyreek Hill and Jacoby Myers.
Okay.
Now,
Myers,
the one thing that would change it, though, is if this is the same lineup with Genty, maybe I don't want to play both Raiders, and then I would pivot to Johnston. So assuming that is the case, then I guess, that context, I probably would want to play Johnston.
But yes, Cody, we do. I think we all expect Genty to get going this week against the Bears defense to a certain extent.
If you've started him every week and you've absorbed all those bad weeks, start him this week because he might actually finally be worth it.
Yeah.
And if not, then we really start to consider it.
Then from RS, I know it sounds crazy, but Neighbors or Dobbs and RS, that is crazy. I'm going to go ahead and answer for everybody. We're going to go Malik Neighbors.
Yep.
Cowboys defense, man. Love the matchup, but
yeah.
No.
Chris Olave or Devonta Smith? We got a little bit of different ends of the spectrum here with Olave seeing a ton of volume and Devonta Smith not seeing a ton of volume, guys. So Keith, I'll let you do this one. Olave, Devonta Smith.
I'm gonna go Devontae.
Okay. Kyle, break the time.
close in my rankings. I have Olave slightly higher. And I think that's half PPR to be fair. So in full PPR, I'd expect Olave to be boosted because of all the targets, but he's not really catching that many. So, but I'll stick with Olave, just knowing the game script is probably going to be in that direction. So.
Then from Cowboy says, "This is what my season has come to, man. I'm sorry to hear this. We got Rico Dowdle, Chris Rodriguez, RJ Harvey, or Ollie Gordon. Kyle, who are you starting here?"
I mean, Hubbard's in, so is it still just tempting to play Dowdle just in case because Hubbard's not 100%? If something happens to him mid-game, he'll get a ton of more work. I guess you could say the same thing about if Ja'Cory Krosky-Merrick being questionable with Chris Rodriguez. You know what? I think I'm going to lean Rodriguez just because of how much we expect Washington to run. And just through sheer volume, even if it's split, he might luck in his way to be the one that scores a touchdown.
I think that's where I'd go. Keith, how about you? Dowdle, Rodriguez, Harvey, Ollie Gordon.
I would go Rodriguez.
Ike, clean sweep? Not in agreement. Pick 2, full point PPR. Johnston, Sutton, Kamara, Chase Brown, Waddle. Ike, take it away.
I can't bench Kamara because if the Saints are down, I'm hoping he'll get the catches finally. And I'll go Quentin Johnston.
I agree.
Sutton, okay.
You see, I'm playing Sutton for sure. Sutton to me is a top 20 wide receiver. So I trust. Again, that 1 week of blip. Other than that, it's been pretty fantastic. So I'd go Sutton and probably Kamara to what Ike was saying about not being mentioned.
Okay, Tucker Kraft, Tyler Warren, full PPR.
Warren.
To me, this is like Bowers. You have to play Warren. It's just the volume he's getting, the number of catches. Like he's a locked-in must play tight end every week.
All right, Keith, Warren for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay, then we got Clayton wants to confirm this: Judkins or Chase Brown, full point PPR. Keith, what do you got here? Judkins, Chase.
I would go Judkins. I like what I've seen out of him. He's been much more effective, obviously, than Chase Brown. And I know we're saying they're better against the run, but it's actually they have not returned to that level that they did 2 years ago before they were decimated by injuries last year.
Judd, for sure.
Holding on because I think 2 years ago they were the number one, like number 32 in terms of points allowed to running backs that year. So maybe in my mind I'm still chasing that, but I am leaning Chase Brown. Yeah, maybe there's Canadian bias in there too.
Then from Juan, need 3 spots: wide receiver 1, 2, and 3, and flex spots. So Quentin Johnston, Hollywood Brown, Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel. Jordan Addison's out already. He's already playing. Trey
Don't
Tucker.
ever sit Devontae Adams, like ever.
No.
Well, and then I wouldn't sit Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor either. I think those are the 3.
Yeah. So.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
And then he needs a flex.
I only
right?
get 1 running back. I mean.
No, Jacobs and Taylor's our starter. So.
Okay.
Oh, I see. I was reading it wrong.
Okay, Johnson starting at tight end, Kittle on IR. Okay, yeah. I agree with you, Keith, in terms of you play Devontae Adams, but he is questionable.
Quentin and Devontae.
Yeah, you need another one. Need a third
Actually,
wide
4.
receiver.
Jeez. Trey Tucker, yeah. Okay, there's.
Well, Addison's
And then-
already played, so he can't play Addison.
I would have played Addison, so hopefully you play Addison. We only have to pick 3 others, but if the question's there, yeah, we assume.
Is it Quentin Johnston, Devontae Adams, Samuel, and Trey Tucker? That's
Yes.
Or do we want to get
I'd go
Henderson in the flex somewhere?
I think Henderson will get the work, so I'd put Henderson in the flex, and I'd go Adams, Samuel, Quentin Johnston.
Okay.
Now, just again, with Adams being questionable, make sure you leave 1 4 o'clock or later player. I mean that could be type 1 Thornton, as like the just emergency, or actually Hollywood Brown's probably better for that. Well, who knows? One of those Chiefs receivers that can be like in case something happens to Adams and he doesn't play. That's your.
Would you play Quentin Johnston over Kamara? I don't think we would. Or Judkins over Quentin Johnston at the flex.
I might do that. Play both running backs. Bench Johnston. I think I'd do that. Yeah, play Judkins and Kamara is how I'd start.
Okay. From Alex, needs a win. 0-3. Henderson, Krosky, Merritt, Trey Tucker, Higgins, Judy need 2 full point PPR. Keith, I'll let you do this one. Henderson, Krosky, Merritt, Trey Tucker, Higgins, Judy.
Definitely Tucker. And then it's probably for me, if you feel like you need a boom play to have a chance to win, I would throw Henderson in there. If not, I can't sit Higgins. Like, I know it's been rough for, Cincy, but we know Browning's going to throw it. He's going to get targets. It's just how effective is he going to be with the ones he gets, even in a tough matchup.
Okay. Ike?
I said trade Tucker and Higgins.
Okay. Kyle?
I'll go Henderson, Higgins. So at least we've narrowed down to 3. Like now,
Yep.
those are the 3 to choose from: Henderson, Higgins, Tucker, and sorry, Alex, up to you to decide.
From Dion here, Hill, Sutton, Johnston need one, and Cortland Sutton for me.
Yep.
Kyle, not
You're going Tyreek Hill.
Ike?
Yeah.
I'm going Tyreek Hill.
Okay. Keith, where would you go?
I would go. I mean, honestly, I'm going to have to go Quentin Johnston. I mean, you look, he's just continuing to every week make me eat my words. This is not a small sample size anymore. So I'm going to go him. I would, though, want to have like Tyreek Hill in my lineup with what the Jets have had. So I would, be curious what the other receivers are. But just, again, another ridiculous wide receiver room. I don't know how all these people have them when I'm starting Darnell Mooney over here.
So, thank you for listening, even though we didn't give you any clarity with that response at all.
Yes. From Jacob, I know where Keith's going. He's going to go Fields over Jordan Love, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Then Ike and Kyle, are you guys going to go Fields over Love as well? Ike's not in agreement. Kyle, how about you, man? You're going to go Jordan Love?
The Cowboys,
Great matchup.
I play Love over Baker because I think it's the same type of argument. That high ceiling passing performance, I think it's definitely there. I mean, the Cowboys have just been atrocious on defense. So to me, Love has got the top 10 upside. I've got him at QB7.
All right. Then last question before we get it over to Keith for the DFS segment. We got 2 flex half-point PPR league.
We didn't answer the second part of Jacob's question. He asked a flex one too. Sorry, I realized.
Oh, sorry. Pearsall, Olave, Dobbins, or Chase Brown in the flex. Just one of them.
Pearsall.
I say Dobbins against the Bengals defense. He's been running so much.
Pearsall.
Okay.
I guess that's good because if you do play Pearsall and he's out, like you still have Dobbins as a later time as an emergency again.
Do you trade
Travis? It's questionable. It's just the one.
Okay. Do you trade Travis Etienne for Tetaroa McMillan? They have CMC, Jonathan Taylor, Jordan Mason as the running backs. Wide receivers are Olave, Pickens, Mike Evans, and Tyreek Hill.
Nah.
In half PPR, I think I still want the running back depth is more important. I mean, okay, 2 flex. So 2 wide receivers, 2 flex every week. Not because you can play all 4 running backs, right? So I would say no. I would want to just flex Etienne over Tetaroa McMillan.
Yeah, I'm okay holding as well. Keith, would you make the trade?
No, just because I'm always worried about CMC's health. So
yeah.
I would, yeah.
Great point there. All right, Keith, before we let you take it away, I'll go ahead and give Ike and Kyle some time to plug their stuff here. So, Kyle, I'll let you start what you got here.
Yeah, so the goal line report, the final week of it is this week. So next week we'll have the goal line guide, weekly matchups for touchdowns. So that could be something I'm going to be incorporating to my own start-sit decisions. Might bring them onto the show here. So look for that article to start dropping next week. And it's cross-referencing offenses versus defense, how efficient they've both been inside the 5-yard line to try and predict where touchdowns will come and if they'll be rushing or passing touchdowns. Yeah, great. Look forward to that, starting that series next week.
Yeah, guys, make sure to check that out. Ike, what do you got? Injury Impact, right? Comes out Mondays or Tuesdays?
Yep. Monday mornings, I believe. Monday morning.
Out as well because injuries have been pretty brutal this year to start the year. So make sure to check that out. And guys, you can just check me out here on Sunday mornings. This is really all I do now. So make sure to just follow me here and you follow me on Twitter at dclemons2222. But all right,
lazy bomb. Man.
I'm out. Thanks,
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next week. Keith, take it away, my man.
Yes, sir. All right. So the DFS slate, like, it's not my favorite, if I'm being honest. I don't know why it is not making it full screen, but and it's been a tough stretch to start the season. I've had somebody that gets injured immediately. Looking at you, CeeDee Lamb. It seems like every week, and the guys that I am putting in the most cash lineups. But for QB this week at cash, I I just think Caleb is the best play on the board. He's 5,800 at Vegas. He's first in touchdowns, rushing yards, touchdown rate, and second in passing yards. I mean, what are we doing? And he's 5,800. He's hit 3x his price all 3 games this season. He's averaging over 5 points per game just with his legs. That's huge. And this is a Raiders D that we know has had issues. I do want to mention Daniel Jones, though. I'm okay with him, too. He's 5,600. I mean, I don't really understand why his price is not going up. He scored 15.8 and 29.5 in the 2 games at the Colts. Again, dominated throughout. So, I mean, if you're telling me I can get at least 16 points for sure, and that's kind of his floor. Remember, he's had like a 29 and a 30-point outing already this season. And then the other big thing is just the Rams are so good against the run. I think they're going to have to pass a little bit more. And they've already faced 2 QBs this season and have allowed 30-plus rushing yards. One of them being C.J. Stroud, who's not normally a running quarterback. The running backs, I think there's a lot of options. I like the guys under 6K. The one exception is James Cook, 7,100. It's just a pattern, right? We're through 3 games. They're 2 big wins, 40 carries, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns. The one game that they fell behind, he had 13 for 44. He still scored a touchdown. That's a great thing. They're 15-point favorites. I just think Cook is so safe. Omarion Hampton, 5,900 at the Giants. The loss of Najee Harris last week, allowed him to have his biggest fantasy game of the season. 14 of his 19 carries, and his score came after the Harris injury, so I think we can expect to see him getting consistent volume moving forward. He also caught 6 passes. Giants are allowing over 150 yards per game. More importantly, 5.2 yards per carry, and they've already allowed 5 rushing touchdowns. But I do like Scatterboo more at 5,500. I mean, quote Dave Eddy, DFS God, volume is king. And Scatterboo's touches continue to go up. 12. He had 4 week 1, 12 week 2, 16 last week. And that's a game, remember, Tracy left. He's definitely out. He's accounted for 43% of the Giants' offense against, I thought, what was a really good Chiefs defense, catching 6 passes. And I just think he's going to get a monster workload. Whether they're ahead or behind, Jackson Dart making his first start, they're going to lean on the back. Wide receivers, Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of those favorite plays for me where I think he's going to be low on because you look at Cleveland, they're actually one of the top versus wide receivers so far this season, but we know that Jared Goff plays better at home. They're at home. The same can be said for St. Brown. Over his last 9 home games, he's caught 70 passes, scored 8 times. And then the other reason I'm really bullish on him, the Browns run man defense, 3rd highest rate in the league. St. Brown versus man, 2nd in yards per route run, 1st in fantasy points per target, and fantasy points per route versus man defense. Last year, he was 11th in yards per route run versus man, and 4th in fantasy points per target and route versus man. And then we've seen Cleveland as just an unbelievable run defense. So I think Detroit's going to have to throw to move the ball on them. Obviously, if I like Caleb Williams, I like Roma Dunze, 6,300. Again, volume is king. He's top 10. Targets, snap share, air yards, deep targets, red zone targets, touchdowns, fantasy points, whatever you want. He's there. He's 2nd in expected fantasy points right now at wide receiver. He's the 10th most expensive receiver on the DK main slate. That is the definition of value. And he's been so good versus zone this season. The Raiders run cover 3, zone defense, 55% of the time. Dunze so far this season, 2.59 fantasy points per target versus zone. Yeah, that's right. 2.59 fantasy points per target, and he's getting a 23% first read target share versus zone as well. Drake London, maybe this is with my heart, but this is a Washington team that's allowing nearly 8 yards per play versus the pass compared to 3.7 against the run. And London's still seeing a ton of volume. 8th in targets among wide receivers. His splits are much better at home. Over his last 10 home games, he's averaging 10 targets per game, over 6 receptions. And in the 3 home games with Penix so far, he's caught 23 passes on 41 targets. Ricky Pearsall is the other guy, 5,700. If Jennings was ruled out, which looks like he's going to play, this would be put him in every lineup at 5,700. I still pretty good about him. I mean, Purcell, top 5 in yards per game, yards per reception, yards per target, first down receptions, coming off an 11 target monster. And this is a Jags defense that is allowed to number one wide receivers, which I think you could argue Purcell is, whether Juwan Jennings plays or not. 27 receptions for 337 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tight end this week, there's really 2 guys I'm pushing. Hunter Henry, 4K. He leads the Pats pass catchers, targets, 7 more than any Patriots wide receiver, receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Among tight ends, he's 5th in target share, 2nd in first read targets, and 1st in red zone targets. He faces a Panthers D that through 3 games, 18 receptions for 222 yards and a touchdown. That's my favorite play at tight end, but I do like Harold Fanning as well, 3,700 Detroit. They are, running the most pass plays in the NFL. Only one other team does. They're 2nd, running 45 pass attempts per game so far this season. He ranks 7th in first read targets among tight ends, 4th in design target share, 8th in targets overall. He's 9th in expected fantasy points, and he's the 12th most expensive tight end. So he's a little bit of a value right there. And this is a Lions defense that, just allowed 8 receptions for 113 yards and 2 scores to the Ravens tight ends. Mark Andrews had 6 for 91. He had 2 passes for 7 yards in the first 2 games. So I think it's safe to say Lions have issues with tight ends. And then the defense was really tough for me this week. I didn't honestly like any of them down in the cheap range, but I wanted to have multiple lineups with like Cook, St. Brown. I wanted to be able to get multiple expensive guys in there, so ultimately I still had to just pick one. I'm going with Jacksonville. They scored at least 8 points in each of their games. They're 2,500. 7 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, 6 sacks. That's automatic points each week. And you're going to get a Brock Purdy returning from turf toe injury. Maybe he's a little rusty. Who knows? They're the only ones of the cheap ones that I feel really good about. Again, Cleveland is a defense that I think is for real, but they do struggle a little bit against the pass, and Jared Goff, St. Brown, and Jameson Williams are so good versus man. Cleveland runs man defense at, again, the 2nd highest rate in the NFL. They run cover 1 41% of the time. So I couldn't go with Cleveland again this week, but the Jags, 2,500. So, again, you should check out all the amazing stuff at Fantasy Six Pack. There's so much of it. Again, we appreciate you every week coming and hanging out with us for the Sunday social. You can always hit me up either in the Discord if you have DFS questions. You can also hit me up on Twitter /X. But be sure to follow Fantasy Six Pack's YouTube and all social media accounts. And we'll see you guys next week.